keynote address by Professor K.S. Ladda, sir. We shall slip on to the next session by another eminent speaker, Shri M.S. Arun, Director, Celest Pharma Labs Private Limited, Peenya, and Peenya Pharmaceuticals Private Limited, Bangalore. And the topic is achieving therapeutic equivalence of Ayurvedic drugs to pharmacopoeial drugs. So, shall we begin this session, sir? Arun, sir?
Yeah. I think I'm online. I think you can see me now.
Yeah. You're clear, sir. Your voice is also
Yeah.
clear and the image is also clear.
Fine.
So we shall continue with this session without a break, as we have taken an extra time in the morning session.
So good morning, everyone. So first of all, thank you for everyone to interact with you people. I am Arun. I am from a pharma background. So I am alumni of KLE College of Pharmacy, Belgaum. Actually, I think Mr. Vishwanath is my friend. So your principal, Mr. Vishwanath, is my friend. I studied in Harapanalli and I done master degree in Belgaum. So this is my brief background of my academics, and in my career. So I started my industrial career in 1997. Actually, almost I can say 20 years experience in industry, and almost 11 years I was in heading formulation division in Himalaya Drug Company, and I worked in US company Herbalife, then drug discovery group, synthetic drug discovery, and in 2014 I started my own company. So I started with the contract research, and in 2015 I entered into the manufacturing session. I have 4 units with me. So 3 in Bangalore and one plant is in Bhadravati, which is a purely bulk drug manufacturing plant. Okay, and my passion is on Ayurveda. Basically, even though I'm from a pharma background, so my total passion and dedication is for Ayurvedic products actually. So during my tenure in Himalaya Drug Company, I came across with a lot of Ayurvedic tests because being an Ayurvedic company. So then I started entering into the Ayurvedic formulations. I got a lot of interest in that because there is a lot of stuff in the Ayurvedic formulations. Then now my total focus, to present our research focus is taking a pharmacopoeial drugs, okay, and achieving the therapeutic equivalence, because ultimately many people will talk on Ayurvedic drugs, herbal formulations, all this fine, but practical, suppose if you go to the market, actually people should believe, suppose you are taking livenclamide, the same effect, if it happens in Ayurvedic drugs, then only people will believe Ayurveda. Otherwise, people say that it is a supplement. So, you know, now our aim is to make how they believe the synthetic pharmacopoeial drug in the same belief, in the same therapeutic equivalence, Ayurvedic drug should be in the market. Then only we can say that we can justify our. So this is the biggest challenge, and in this challenge, I'm telling that I'm fairly successful in achieving this challenge actually. So in this context, I taken an example of my own product, which is now patented, and that product is already in the market now, and I am discussing with a lot of companies to market this product. Maybe I will take this as an example, and I want to present this case study for today's presentations. Now, as my topic says that achieving therapeutic equivalence. So I want to show some slides to you. So if you want to present a product actually, so what all the things required is, first we should have a strong pharmacology. So excuse me, so I am little bit not used to this. I will take my presentation. Can you say how to, because this is Zoom usually. Ramesh? Okay, I will join with my presentation, but during this I want to continue my discussion. So now I taken an example of an Ayurvedic product, which is specifically mentioned for the allergy, asthma, and flu actually, because the corona in the last 2 years we suffered a lot from corona infections actually. So this is basically, it is a type of flu actually, like adenovirus, retrovirus. Coronavirus is one of the modified virus of this adenovirus actually. But the major impact is it is highly infectious, and that has proved fatal, and it has destroyed the immunity actually. But there are a lot of drugs. The vaccination has come, a lot of synthetic drugs failed to treat this disease. Finally they achieved with the vaccinations. But no. Hello. I think sir, there's a disturbance. Hello. 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 Can you hear me? Hello.
You're audible, sir.
Okay, fine. Sorry. So, with that pharmacology, so I started working on the Ayurvedic product. How the people, ancient people, used to treat this kind of diseases, because if you see the modern diseases, they are less fatal when compared to our ancient diseases. For example, plague, cholera. There are a lot of deadliest diseases for there. But how people used to overcome with the natural products actually. So in this context, I taken this as an example and study the entire pharmacology of this product, this category. One is the basic is it is a flu type. It is an allergic symptom, and it is going to be destroying the immunity of the body. And third is it is like fever, inflammation, and it is a highly infectious kind of infections actually. So with this category, I started taking all Ayurvedic text and taking the phytochemicals in Ayurvedic formulations actually. And I taken the allopathic drugs. For example, what are the allopathic drugs used in the allergic treatment? For example, cetirizine, levocetirizine, then montelukast is there, then latest antibiotics are there, paracetamol is there. So these are the structures I taken. And what are the plants which has the similar structures to these pharmacopoeia drugs? That is the most important step, because most of the people they do simply go with the literature survey, do that. But if you achieve this chemical equivalence, there are two things. One is pharmacological equivalence, therapeutic equivalence, and chemical equivalence. So if you achieve the chemistry between the pharmacopoeia drugs and the synthetic drugs, so I think we have more or less we have achieved the 50% of my target actually. And second thing is the pharmacological equivalence. So pharmacology is maybe the synthetic drug pharmacology may be different from the herbal pharmacology actually. So this pharmacological equivalence has to be calculated. And third is the how to make a dosage form out of this. These three are the biggest challenges in this category actually. So if you achieve these three, so product wise, then we can say that we can achieve whatever the therapeutic equivalence in Ayurvedic product to the pharmacopoeia drugs will be achieved very systematically actually. This is what the need of hour actually. So this is how, what even since you are in academics actually, what my sincere request is, so you do the study, but keep it in mind whether it is commercialized or not actually, because if it not commercialized, it is only going to be the presentation, and it will remain in the textbook, or it will be remaining in your thesis. So many people I interview, many people I interact, so most of the things what I feel is it has to be improved a lot, because our academics has to really my personal opinion is has to be looked into this. Otherwise the same projects they are coming with the repeated modifications of other things. So if you have little bit shift in your project, at least maybe I'm not telling 100% commercial level, at least to some extent it helps to the industry actually, because pharmacognosy has a biggest advantage, because if you see after corona, lot of maybe 30%, 40% of the population has really moving into the natural products actually. But here the most lack in this segment is the students has to really look into achieving whatever at least 80% of the therapeutic equivalence of the available allopathic drug. This is the need of the day. Otherwise, we're going to lose a big opportunity. Even the students and even the you can say that industry also going to lose a big way in this segment actually. And we have a lot of things to be contributed to the nation with this kind of research, because one big molecule, for example, one Lipitor molecule, it has given the $20 billion to the economy. And if you see really Ayurvedic text, Ayurvedic formulations, each product will contribute like Lipitor, but we are not really looking into this segment actually. So as an industries, as an academic, I was also an academician. Initially, I worked as a PG computer in Belgaum, actually, I know. So if the need of our is really, if you achieve this kind of equivalence, it is going to change the economy, and it is going to change the academics of together actually. This is the need of our. Again, I come back to this, maybe I cross this discussion. So to achieve this, one should have the complete knowledge of your phytochemistry and pharmacology. These are the industrial pharmacy. All these three sections are very important. You cannot simply isolate these three segments, and it is difficult to achieve. So my request is, so please look into the therapeutics of any product phytochemical you do it. So in this, I am telling one best example. I am telling we have a big challenge in one product called, it's a glucosamine sulfate. So it is, I got it from USA. So we wanted to develop this glucosamine, natural glucosamine actually. So there are a lot of research has happened, and they're not able to achieve the natural glucosamine. It is almost semi-synthesized. But what I want, it is a patented product now. What we done is, we went to the Ayurvedic text, and also the trees and divans, pharmacognosy, a lot of other phytochemicals we searched. One reference we got, Chinkati Sattva. If you see, Chinkati means it is a prawn. In 5,000, 6,000 years back, they used this Chinkati Sattva, means it is an extract. In Sanskrit, Sattva means extract. This they used to treat the pain. Then we went to the pharmacology of this Chinkati Sattva. And we went to that why Chinkati Sattva is generated in the prawns. Then it's so beautifully explained. Prawn is completely animal with a joint. Entire, even the body is made up of joints. A small pain in the joint will leave this animal dead, or some predator will eat away, or animal we cannot survive. So to overcome that pain, that prawn secretes a particular chemical. It is written very clearly, which will immediately relieve the pain. Then this is the interpretation. Then what we thought, that it must be glucosamine, because glucosamine now recently it is extracted from the prawn. Actually. Then we made that extract, and we subject to the phytochemistry. And almost you can say that, you can say it is a glucosamine. We can say that it is not a sulfate. It is basic glucosamine structure is there. Then we presented the case study, and we went to the department, because it has to be commercialized. Research cannot go like this only. Then we went to the department, then we went to presented the chemistry, then we got an approval for manufacturing. Now Joint Flex Cream, it is my product. I think you can see in the market. It is the natural product. It is a natural glucosamine. It is $1 billion product. So this is what I am telling, the pharmacology. So how it happens here? What is here? One is the phytochemistry, because cognosy has played a very important role, because the identification, extrapolation, interpretations, and second thing, chemistry. We analyze the chemistry of this. And third is pharmacology. So penetration, because it is beautifully penetrates into the skin, because it is a biological molecule. Unlike synthetic sulfates, it is a pure glucosamine. It is not a sulfate. It is a glucosamine. It is the penetration is very good. Actually. Then the formulation, formulating into a cream, formulating into the oil, formulating into a lotion. That means all the three put together is a beautiful product it has come. Now we are registering in almost more than 40 countries. it is going to more than 40 countries. It is because just it has through the plant or the natural origin. You can say pharmacognosy, it is a natural. Ayurveda means it is not only a plant. Any natural product, it may be mineral source, it may be plant source, it may be animal source. So Ayurveda is it is not constrained to the plants. You can, I think, very clear differentiation. Herbal drugs is only plant, but Ayurveda is not only plant. Ayurveda includes everything, minerals, plants, animals, all origins. So including that. So this has to be I think since in this session, what I'm telling, you have to identify, please go through the text, take unknown references, take unknown product. You can do 10 PhDs. In one formulation, you can do 10 PhDs. And all are commercialized. Everything can be presented and it can be helpful for the mankind. So this kind of focus has to be shifted to the this departments actually. Then it is a big contribution from each and every institutions actually. Otherwise, merely saying this is what I did. I'm not telling that, but see this kind of route and make the product. So you need a lot of interaction to the industries. Because one interaction, one guidance from the industry will change the life of a student, and even recognition of the institute will definitely have a big impact actually. So this is one example I'm telling. And other example I'm telling, the Histocell. So Histocell is my patented product. You can see in the internet. We have published all the data, and this is my billion-dollar market product. We are discussing with Glenmark, Cipla. We are discussing with Piramal. We are discussing with Glaxo. So this is a big molecule. We have generated a very big data for allergy, asthma, and viral infections. So this is a big molecule. So how we achieve the therapeutic equivalence. So again, I'm telling you, see any allergies, for example, what you have done is any antigen comes inside, body produces antibodies. It is a very simple, it's a very good old, very simple explanation. But what are the drugs in the market for allergy? So when corona also starts with the symptoms, allergy symptoms, then bronchitis, then it goes to viral fever, then immunity destroys, and virus dominates and fatal. Actually. But starts with allergy. So virus is an antigen. Actually. Bacteria is an antigen. When it enters into the body, this first is allergic reactions, and second is destruction of the immunity in the body. Actually. So these two are the main things. Suppose if you prevent the immunity destruction, then corona is become a normal cold. Very simple. It's not so complicated. Actually. But we are not able to prevent the destruction of our immune system. That's why it is dominating. But solution is very simple. But there is no drugs available. So this is a big challenge for us. Now, if you see allopathic drugs, whatever, even I'm from allopathy background, all like antibodies, either RNA impairment, DNA impairment, antimetabolites, they're all pharmacology. Fine. This is fine with respect to synthetic drugs. But is there any other routes? Because pharmacology is a big role in this. So how apart from this, suppose we cannot, apart from this, you cannot say that there is no other route. It is wrong. Suppose if you take a street dog, the dog in front of your house, it won't drink mineral water. It will drink water which is in the drainage. How can it survive? A plant growing in a drainage, we should respect more, because with all these odds, all bad smell, sulfur, all this methane, it survives. So that is more important than a plant or a tree grows beautifully in a garden. If you nourish it, everything grow. But without any nourishing, this is growing. That's the nature. That's a cognizance. There the role will come. Then you have to study that kind of plants, that kind of pharmacology. If you're able to survive this, you can survive anything else. That's what gone into my mind. So then I first took it, why corona is not possible to solve. Then the pharmacology is like this. One is antigen antibody reaction. It is mediated through immunoglobulin E. If you regulate IgE, then corona cannot be proliferated. There is no Ig regulator in the market. In the whole synthetic drugs, there is no Ig regulator. Second thing, there are 20 amino acids. Histidine is one of the amino acid which converts into histamine. If you prevent histidine conversion to histamine, then there is no histamine. There is no allergy, but there is no drugs. Third pharmacology, mast cells, all the released histamine are stored in mast cells. This mast cell, if it degranulates, the moment infection comes, the mast cell will break. Then all the histamine released into the blood. If you prevent the release of histamine into the blood, there is no histamine reaction. Then mast cell stabilization. I think you read pharmacology, but there is no drug available for mast cell stabilization. There is one drug called cromolyn sodium. It is highly toxic molecule. It is withdrawn from the market. There is no drug available. Fourth, histamine will sit on a H1 receptors and cause allergy. All the market is flooded with antihistaminics. Only this target we have the market. All cetirizine, levocetirizine, montelukast, all will prevent the antihistaminics. It's a big market. It is $1 trillion market, but only with one target. And fourth, so all histamine mast cells are present in the intestine. A good laxation will 50% give the relief. You can say that in Ayurveda, if they give, first they will give the laxatives. See the beauty of that. These mast cells will be first flushed out. So these are the 4 to 5 different targets. We took these kind of targets. So, and we studied, one is Ig regulator, second is conversion of histidine to histamine, and third is mast cell stabilizers, and fourth antihistaminic, and fifth is the laxative. If you see all these things, the whole pharmacopoeia, IP, BP, USP, global, any pharmacopoeia you take, it is only antihistaminics. All other pharmacological targets are left behind. Nobody is looking, only somebody is there, everybody is going into that. Why can't you look into these other targets? This is called research. So that means this, if you achieve this target, then your one molecule is $1 billion. If you make one Ig regulator, I think you can, after this presentation, you can see there is a pre-histine. US company, Cobalis Corporation, they claimed it is the world's first Ig regulator. It is a $50 billion molecule, 50 billion pre-histine. They are working on this. Why can't we? So this kind of pharmacology, but still it is on the trial stage. So by seeing those things, we also, in our company, we also started working on different targets. Actually. Then I took a lot of, if you see synthetic drugs, I'm telling today, a lot of restrictions in synthetic drugs. Getting an approval is a big challenge. Initially, they used to approve with minimum trials or minimum pharmacology, the drug used to approve. But here today it is an uphill toss. Sometimes even one lifetime also it is difficult to get one approvals. But in natural products, it's a big market. It's the biggest market. So safety is proved, and if you prove pharmacology, your approval process is very clear. It is very easy to market and easy to prove that it is pharmacologically safe, because safety is the biggest challenge. Actually. So taking this advantage, what I took is, I took what are the drugs in Ayurveda, which they talk about cough, cold, is tuberculosis. They used to treat tuberculosis. So tuberculosis today is the biggest disease, but how they used to treat? So these combinations I took from Ayurveda, and I taken all the plants. What are the plants used in these formulations and phytochemistry of the plants. Each plant contains what chemical ingredients. Entire chemistry of the plants, each and every plant, one list. Second, IP, BP, USP, global pharmacopoeia, in Japan for all pharmacopoeia, drugs which they claim for the allergy, cough, cold, and infections, synthetic drugs, all the structures. I made a chart. Then chemical equivalents are chemistry wise, which are similar. I started looking into this. In plant, which is the natural phytochemical, which is nearly equivalent to the cetirizine, which is nearly equivalent to the montelukast, which is nearly equivalent to the brufen. I started listing that kind of plants. Then I shortlisted that and make one more combination. Like this is, I think 2005. I started. It took me for 13 years, the 12 or 13 years to really make a formulation and go for a preclinical studies. Then those shortlisted plants, again, we extrapolated with the synthetic drugs. Then we made a different concentrations, extraction, alcohol extraction, water extraction, hydroalcoholic extraction, different extractions. Then we started comparing the animal safety studies, preclinical studies, then dose ration, because we have to generate the dose. In what dose it is effective, that's most important. If I take one cetirizine, I have to say that this herbal tablet of one tablet is equal to one cetirizine. It is the biggest challenge. I'm telling, it is a very big challenge. It is you need a lot of data, a lot of confidence to claim that this is equivalent to this. So I done that. I'm very I have a product also. I can send you the product, and I presented to even department, the ministry, and all major companies. They done the trials, and absolutely outcome is extraordinary, and I got an approval for that. I'm telling. So I'm very humbly say and confidently say that I achieved a therapeutic equivalence of an Ayurvedic natural product with a synthetic molecule, biggest molecule. And the biggest plus point, what I claimed along with this is the non-sedative. Because not only that, not only therapeutic equivalence, you have to see the advantages. If you see cetirizine, you cannot drive it. If you say chlorpheniramine, you cannot drive it. There are a lot of as per the pharmaceutical ethics, we cannot say that sedatives cannot be given to a children below 12 years. It will cause us a CNS depressions. But there are no drugs available. Even 2 months baby also they give the cetirizine or montelukast. But this is a product. Why they won't believe natural product? Because this works. Pharmacology, synthetic drug works. Ultimately, they see the pharmacology. And Ayurvedic drugs, it may or may not. That's a doubt. No, if you achieve this Ayurvedic pharmacology is almost 100% or more than 100% equivalent to your synthetic drugs, then it is a big boost for a natural product. And this is going to be the next generation idea or next generation pharmacy. Actually. So this is what we have to do it actually. Then coming back to that, so we taken all the phytochemistry and we taken the synthetic drugs. Each herbal extract, I started pharmacological equivalence to the synthetic drugs. First is I taken IG regulator. What is IG regulator? It will control the immunological responses actually. So there is no synthetic drugs. There is no comparison. I cannot make any comparison for IG regulation. What there is no chemical molecule available. Then we took a horse serum and we induced the IgE. Then we test the protection of cell protection, we checked. Beautiful result. Then I confidently claim this is first is Ig regulator target I achieved. Second target is the conversion of histidine to histamine. The beauty of this or phytochemicals or human body is I'm not able to achieve this because this is a protein synthesis. Protein synthesis, any disturbance will have very deleterious effect on human body. Actually, whatever the trials are done, the path has not, it is blocked. So beautifully inside the body, the path is blocked. Then I realized, yes, body is very smart. Wherever it has going to have a bad effect, the body won't accept. So that target is a failure and it's a good failure. I'm so happy. It should not happen because any protein synthesis intervention is going to have a big effect on the human body. It is not affected. So second target also, I saw that what is happened for good, but IG achieved. Third is mast cell stabilizer. I done with a cetirizine because there is no mast cell stabilizer available. Cetirizine cell protection I take compared with my herbal extract. So beautifully it has protected equivalent to the cetirizine. Actually, I have a cetirizine data against the Ayurvedic product. Actually, 1-to-1 synthetic versus Ayurvedic. So this is I achieved that. I will show the presentation of all this data with you actually. And third is it is antihistaminic. Of course, antihistaminics easily achieved. There is no issue with antihistaminics. Again, I achieved this data with a cetirizine. Comparative with the cetirizine, I achieved antihistaminic. And of course, any tannins, for example, herbal extract contain a lot of tannins, galley tannins, elagi tannins. They are good laxatives, frankly. So the laxation is absolutely it is inbuilt in any natural product. So this achieved. I achieved IgE, I achieved nostril, I achieved antihistaminic, and also achieved laxative. So beautifully, I'll present you the preclinical studies in the slides. You can see that I want I want especially the students has to be motivated and see how instead of telling going into the deep, I want to give you the overall picture because you should know what to do. Actually, you have everything, but if you don't know what to do, then from morning to evening, what you've done is should not go waste. So this will give you the beautiful idea. Suppose what has to be done. That is it is a plan. It is a constructive building plan. So my personal request, whatever I've done is possible with my knowledge and my interest and seeing the academics and also the commercials. It's very equally important. You cannot go only with academics or you cannot go only with commercials. It has to be a beautiful balance between academics and commercials. So whatever that academics it won't yield in the commercials, I cannot survive in the job. So that has to be the message for your students. So whenever they go to the industry, they should be contributors to the industry. So if you go to the industry and do only academic research, and no industry can survive. So this has to be imbibed during this period. In this is a very crucial period for I think many students are listening to me. So this is very crucial period. Whatever the actions you do, whatever the projects you do, if you have little alignment to this kind of commercials, balancing these academics and this, you will be very successful in your career. Actually, this is what my word being. I passed all the phases and I'm telling you by experience actually. So this kind of data, what I'm going to show you, so this will give you a fairly good idea. So what should be your project? And even especially for the respected teachers and the principal, all these things, I'm telling. So this is how if you really guide your students, so then the academics will flourish, frankly speaking. So that data will show you. And now come back to the formulations actually. So this is one is the achieving the pharmacology and I will show you the data. Second is retaining the same. This we are done in herbal extract, but the same has to be retained in the formulations. So the design, though it may be tablet, it may be capsule, it may be the syrup, drops. That's the another biggest challenge. Achieving the as it is pharmacology one part, and achieving the same pharmacology in a presentable form. So that's also very, very important, because that is the ultimate which will go in the hands of the customer, consumer actually. So that is the very crucial period, crucial step in converting into academic knowledge into the commercial. So this becomes a very, very important role actually. So anyhow, that is a formulation development. So that's also a big area, and it is very demandable. That's presently a lot of demand actually. So this kind of phytochemical evaluation, pharmacology, and the formulations. These three, if you really align properly, then industry will go into the very big success story for industry actually. One part. And second thing is, in allergy, you will get a secondary infections. Very, very interesting actually. It is, I can say that, I am proudly say that this is, I presented me as an inventor for this route actually. Many people, I went to a lot of discussion with doctors. I went to Cipla, the Glenmark, big companies I presented. So it will help in the allergic, bronchitis, rhinitis, and common cold, fever come over. And very surprisingly, whenever we take this tablet, we are not getting infections. I saw that, sir, this is immuno booster, and it will prevent your infections. Corona I taken in all my company. There are 200 people. We are given the tablets. Not even a single case of corona in my plant actually. But the doctors were telling how it is possible. Fine, allergy is something, you have a pharmacology, everything. We accept your data as a plant material. But how can you accept it will prevent infections? Because a lot of antibiotics, azithromycin, a lot of antibiotics, ciprofloxacin. There are so many antibiotics out there. Even they are not able to work. How can a plant extract will work? So we are there. They were straight away denied. Actually, it is not possible. Plant extract cannot be work as an antibiotic. Then we took fairly we accepted, but I was very optimistic that there are some root. And very interestingly, please listen carefully. There are H1 receptors, H2 receptors. As of now, H1 receptors, they're present in allergic cells, like they cause allergy. H2 receptors, they're present in the parietal cells, that is the stomach. They cause acidity, like Rantac, Ranitidine, Cimetidine. There are a lot of H2 antagonists are there for acidity. They give a lot of tablets. It's a big market. But recently, there are two more receptors I found, H3 and H4 receptors. It's a very recent findings actually. These three, H3 and H4 receptors, they're present in the WBC. Very interesting. This plant material extract particular phytochemicals, they trigger this H3 and H4 receptors. The moment if they trigger, you know what is the effect? What is if our immunity depends on WBC. These WBC are responsible production of antibodies. That's how the nature, the wildlife survives. That's how your animals will survive. Even if you see our cow, guy, they eat whatever the waste lying on the floor in the streets. They never get infected because their H3 and H4 receptors are very strong. We human beings, we are out of that circle and we started drinking mineral water. We are not exposed to that, and our H3, H4 receptors are very weak. Using this, then it is a eureka for me actually. Then I realized, then I proved this extract, it will target to H3, H4 receptor. The moment H3, H4 receptor will stimulate, it will produce the antibodies. Antibodies, they not only kill the bacteria, they destroy virus also. What tells you what? Why you need antibiotics? I applied for a patent. We don't want antibiotics. This is how we used to survive. Even our ancestors, if you agree with me, they used to survive very rare infections. But now the life because of lifestyle. So this is the biggest molecule I achieved out of this anti-allergic and also immunobooster with a measurable increase in antibodies. Then I have taken the scoring. For example, if you take 10, all wildlife, if you see, I'm everywhere I'm telling, if you see geographic channel, the crocodile will eat the decayed meat, including the bone, everything, mud inside. Absolutely nothing will happen because it is, if you take 10 score, its antibody level is more than 9 or 8. If you see human, it is you are less than 3. If my antibody levels will increase to more than 6 or 7, I can drink the normal water. I remember I'm from a village background. I used to drink the water from the pond, very small. I can still very clearly remember. We are not used to carry the water. We used to drink streams actually. But today I cannot do it. Today, absolutely, even if I use the normal tap water, also I get cold and cough. Actually, because this is how I do. But said and done, this is the pharmacology. Now, what I mean to say that whatever the pharmacology in allopathy, you just let it be there as IPBP, but phytochemical pharmacology has to be done. But this is a antibodies. They say RNA impairment, DNA impairment. In our pharmacognosy, you can say that yes, your RNA impairment, DNA impairment not only kills the virus, it will kill my cells also. And 4 or 5 days I cannot walk. I get so weakness, it will damage. But if you have a equivalent result by making a plant formulation, herbal formulation, achieving that kind of antibody level, then your commercials are $1 trillion. If you say, if I offer you, this is a plant tablet, herbal tablet is an antibiotic. Pharmacologically same, root of pharmacology is different. I'm telling it's a pharmacology. That's what my topic is, achieving therapeutic equivalence. Chemically, your presentations may be different. It may be a plant extract. The beauty of plant extract is if you throw onto the soil, it becomes a fertilizer. If you take inside your body, it will produce your antibodies. It will kill the bacteria virus. That's a beauty. That's a pharmacology. So that pharmacology has to be in the phytochemicals. If you blindly go with a synthetic drug pharmacology, you cannot achieve anything in the plant drugs. You cannot achieve anything. Then say that what is the model? What is the model? It is a total different model. I'm not talking your pharmacology. I have my own pharmacology. This is the root. This is very, but end result is same. End result is your infection is cured. Mine is also infection cured. Therapeutic equivalence. But phytochemistry may be different, pharmacology may be different. But this is a need of the day. But this is a long way to accept. But the data has to be generated. Definitely, I'm telling you, people will accept. Once if you prove with the reliable data, reproducible data. So that has to be initiated from everyone, not only everyone should be responsible, but out of the box you have to think. Just not go think in that way. This is where I am telling all the institutes, especially you are the generator of next generation pharmacist actually. It has to be started from your side actually. So out of the box things. So this is how I want to say that you have to really start aligning the pharmacognosy into the commercials and also patents. And please apply for patents. Sir, what I'm telling, please, whatever you do know, today go for a patent. Whether it is reliable, because today you maybe say not important, because any one reference from your patent, tomorrow maybe 5 years, 10 years, will give a big value for you, I'm telling you. So we are very poor. Indians are very poor in patenting, very poor in thinking out of box. Please, we have to, whatever is small things is there, no, just go for a patent. So it is very simple. Even academics, no, you apply, it is only 1,000 rupees fees. Just apply online. So this is what my advice. Go for a out of the box innovation, out of the box process, and go for a patent. So this is the only result oriented. Otherwise, what happens? Many good research or research will go into your only textbook. So I want you to look into this and say that pharmacology, because I'm alone cannot do all those things. I have a lot of ideas. Now antibiotic replacer is a big patent I applied. Almost it has come for hearing now actually. And herbal anti-therapeutic equivalence of Montelukast already got a patent. It's patented, and I can see, you can see my backside. All this Glenmark is there. Primol, water-based compound is the biggest molecule. So all these big multinational companies, they started accepting my research. Now, where manufacturers started manufacturing for them actually. So this is how I commercialized my thought process from plant drugs into commercials. So, but I need lot of support, like candidates, like all pharmacists, because I cannot alone achieve this. I want you people's help, especially those students you are hearing. So if you little bit align to that, then this kind of things will happen in another 10, 20 years. So it's a big revolution will happen in that. So very important is the therapeutic equivalence. So that's very important. Therapy, achieving therapeutic equivalence is ultimate goal, rather than simply talking what is there, what is there, what is there, what. Fine, everything is there, but what has to be done has to be really inside that actually. And I want to present my preclinical. How much time I have, sir? Hello.
Another half an hour.
Half an hour. No, fine. So I will present my presentation. Give me 2 minutes time. Actually.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Ramesh. 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 The PPT link ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡಿ. PPT link ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡಿ. ಬೇಡ. Yes. ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕು.
प्लीज सेव हिज नंबर ना, मेरे को फॉरवर्ड कर दे बाद में. तुमचं नाव घेऊन ठेवतो ना, म्हणजे कसं माझं
पता है ना? वीडियो वीडियो क्लोज है तो पता है ना? Sir, can you help me how to go to this my hello?
Yes, sir.
Because I'm not able to present link on my screen actually. How to can you help me?
Just click the share screen. You are already on. You have shared the screen, sir. Just
You can see my screen.
yeah, it's visible. You have to
Oh,
just make it slideshow.
Okay. Sorry. Because I am not able to see this. That's why.
No, you have already shared the screen. You have to just present it.
Yeah. I just run this cost very fast because all these people know. Yeah. So this is what I told on InstaCell. So
Okay.
this is what I compared with Ayurvedic solutions with etiology and other things. And this is the preclinical study I will present you. And so this is what. So this is what phytostructures what I am talking, like conversion of histidine to histamine. So gingerol, if you see the gingerol.
So your presentation is not visible. We are able to see the other screen, not the presentation. You have to minimize one screen and you have to share only the PPT. You have shared a wrong screen.
Now you can see, sir.
No, sir. Yeah. Now it is visible. Yes.
Now it's well.
Yes, sir. Make it a slideshow, sir.
Okay. Sorry. Now you can see clearly, sir.
Yes, sir. Now it's clear.
Now if you see conversion of histidine to histamine, I was talking. So gingerol is present in the ginger. Actually, if you see the ginger structure, actually, chemically it is similar to the histidine. Actually, so I'm not telling exactly. It is a competitive inhibition or competitive approach for the reaction actually. So gingerol definitely will help in the prevention, regulating this kind of competitive inhibitions actually. Now, it's an H1 receptor complex. So this is I taken. These are synthetic drugs I taken for comparison, like CPM, levocetirizine, cetirizine, montelukast, and these are the phytochemicals. So ursolic acid is from tulsi, and curcuminoids is from turmeric. Gingerol, I told it is for like a histamine computation, and glyceric acid. So if you see these two, especially curcuminoids and glyceric acid, they are very particular in Ig regulator. So nextly, if you see, there are two Ig regulators. You see this one is the glyceric acid, and if you see this curcuminoids and glyceric acid, they sit into the two receptor ends and completely regulate the IgE. This is a beautiful data I extrapolated, and this data I had taken for the pharmacological activity. This is the interpretation what we have done before going for any preclinical studies. With these interpretations, we done horse serum, we have taken horse serum and induced the IgE activity, and we given this dose, different dose levels. So which dose which is acting as IgE we established. So this is a beautiful reactions we got, and this is how it completely regulates the IgE and mast cell granulation stabilization. So this is a complete structure of the cell, how the entire IgE regulator and antihistamine, all these proper pharmacological actions will happen into the cell. We extrapolated, but if you talk now, it is a very big subject. Maybe this is just simple idea I given, and this is what we claim actually. IgE regulator, which is no pharmacopoeia will claim it is an IgE regulator. I have claimed IgE regulator and mast cell stabilizer, antihistaminic, and expectorant, of course, Vasaka is there. Improves immunity. This is what I told. It is a H3 H4 receptors are beautifully shown. It is to increase the antibody levels in the body, and it will act as an antibiotics actually. And hemoglobin percentage, several other things, and 100% non-sedative. This is the biggest claim we claim, and this claim attracted many multinational companies, and we started manufacturing for many companies actually, especially this product in children and especially asthma patients. So this is what even dose rationalization, how we done, I will show in the preclinical actually. So these are the ingredients. I told how I screened that ingredients. So now I will go back to the next slide actually. Next slide, preclinical. Download. Next preclinical. First acute toxicity. Share ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. It's a big file. Sorry for interruption, sir. Again, I apologize actually. So
Is the file not opening, sir?
it's opening. It's a big file actually. So I am sorry because usually, yeah, I got it. Yeah, it's taking some time. So sorry for that. You can see actually, sir.
No, sir. Still, it's not shared. You need to share the screen.
Now you can see, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So this is the acute oral toxicity of this. So what we have done is we have taken as per international guidelines. You can just I will run out this so that you should know what has to be done even whenever you do phytochemical evaluation. So which will be accepted by universally actually. Anybody will accept if you have this kind of data actually. So I think pharmacology people have, I think they know this actually. All acclimatization and study protocol, all these things. I will directly go to the results, dose, administration, route. So see, if you see now, if you see this slide, there is a GRAS state. There is in pharmacy, there is a IP, there is a GRAS state, generally regarded as safe bulk. So if it is more than 2 gram per kg, there is no death. It is generally accepted as safe. That's called GRAS status. If you see this data, in 2 gram per kg body weight of animal, there are no deaths actually. So it is absolutely, this is the highest dose they give in any drugs actually, and it is absolutely crossed. There are no death of animals. But however, we taken one more level. It is 500 mg, that's 5 gram. It is very high dose. We can see that 2 deaths happened, but we were doubt. Then after dissecting the animal, taking histopathology, there are no toxicity of the animals, but animal died because of suffocation actually, because they're not able to gulp the 5000 mg, that is 5 gram. But otherwise, the safety was absolutely, if you see that histopathology, there is no toxic symptoms. And this is the first document where we prove that this is very absolutely safe drug, and it can be given to any age. So these are the data we generated. So this is specifications. So this is the first document what we generated for the pharmacology, achieving the therapeutic equivalence. And next, actually. Next pharmacology. So this is the screen mode. So you can see this data. Hello.
No, sir. Still not shared.
Not shared. Fine. Now you can see, sir.
No, sir, not yet. Sir, open the file and share the screen. Yeah, it's visible.
Visible, yeah. So just I think just go to directly the results. So fine. Yeah. No, I will come back to this. Yeah. So this is the study model we have taken. So this is an antihistaminic activity. One is directly I compared with the cetirizine. This is the cetirizine dose calculated to the human dose towards animal dose, and treatment. This is a herbal extracts, so like 23 mg, 46 mg, 92, 184, 3. That means at what stage of this dose is equivalent to the cetirizine. That's what we wanted to look into, the therapeutic equivalence actually. And here we got the results graph. Yeah, here you can see the cetirizine. So at this the cell protection level is, so at this dosage cell protection almost we achieved this in this one age. You can say almost this dosage of our star cell is absolutely we achieved with the cetirizine. That means pharmacologically we achieved with this our extract, herbal extract, with the synthetic molecules. This is a beautiful document. And even if you increase, the moment you increase the cetirizine dose, the deaths happened. But if you increase the further our extracts, absolutely there are no deaths. This is the beauty of this, and we proved the safety and also the antihistaminic properties of istosol actually. This is one, and this is the graph what we achieved, and this is the results, recordings, different stages, and this is the specification of the extract. So this product actually, tablet. So next, close my leg. So next, Ellie. Yeah, this is the IgA regulator activity. Yeah. So this is the Montelukast equivalence we have taken. So the Montelukast dose, this is a dose, and treatment dose our extract different. At what concentration we achieved Montelukast equivalence? That's we I will directly go to the graph. So I'm so happy with this result. If you see the beautifully graph actually, this is the control and this is induced, horse serum induced, and this is the Montelukast result. You can see at this dose almost we achieved the to the Montelukast. Montelukast is the latest molecule. So I think you can see, sir, screen you can see, no? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes.
So this is the latest molecule, and we are so happy to say that. So we achieved this Montelukast equivalence with the herbal product actually. So you can see, and the beauty of this is the moment if you increase the Montelukast, the deaths, animal used to die. But here, even if you see that 3 times the dose actually, like 128 different 248 5 up to 500 mg, absolutely there is no death, and it is not further coming down. The moment it become normalizes, the herbal extract, whatever the plant extract, will excrete it out as a nutrition actually. This is the beauty of this herbal product actually. This has got a lot of appreciation from many companies, and they also done the repeated studies, and they're so happy with this product, and they accepted that this herbal extract, this product is almost is therapeutically equivalent to the biggest molecule, Montelukast. So there is a biggest molecule, and we are almost encashing this research, these results actually. So this is a therapeutic activity. This is how we have to really plan. Maybe pharmacology may be different, but therapeutic equivalence we need to achieve like this actually. And last one is the mast cell stabilizing activity. So this is what I will show. This is the last slide of this activity. Yeah. This is the last pharmacological activity. What this is the mast cell stabilizing activity. Again, we taken cetirizine because the mast cell results in the release of cetirizine. So this is what the cetirizine equivalence we have taken. This is a, I'll directly go to the graph actually. sorry, it's a big file. I'm not able to, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Again, this is a dose, and again, different doses are taken with the treatment, and taken cetirizine at this dose. And this is the results. So these are the results actually. Cetirizine equivalence, and you can say almost we have taken 124 mg is equivalent to cetirizine. Actually, there are small animal variations will be there. So, but this can be you can say almost achieved the therapeutic equivalence with this. So in one product we achieved the therapeutic equivalence with cetirizine, with montelukast and master stable. All the three pharmacologies we achieved in one product. So these kind of you can say that presentation, these kind of formulations are possible in natural products. But whereas if you go to synthetic drugs, each has to be separate actually. So this is the beauty of this product. We achieved the safety, we achieved the therapeutic equivalence with the montelukast and cetirizine, and even anti-master stabilization drug, which is not there in the market today. So all the three we achieved. So this is what I can say that whenever we do the research, so if you have this kind of agenda and this kind of plan actually, so definitely we can have a very big impact of the especially pharmacognosy into the commercial market. I apologize for that because there is some inconvenience in sharing the screens and other things, because I'm very sorry for that actually. So this is what my sincere advice rather than the presentation. So we can say that how what we, as an industry we expect like academics, especially students, how they get prepared when like preparation. Today I'm not prepared well. I'm telling you actually, apologize for that. But the preparations when you enter into the industry, your first 4+2 years is a very big impact in industry. One good student, if you have a big impact in industry, will definitely contribute to our nation also. This is what I sincerely say that. So I thanks for all of you giving me an opportunity to share my experience rather than presentation. I am sharing my experience, and also in this presentation, I am requesting. I need some of the candidates, good candidates. I am frankly speaking. I will take this as an opportunity to address. So the quality of students has to be really improved, and the student has to be. I need a good candidates for suiting for formulation development and the analytical department. If you have good candidate, please advise us. So you have an immediate requirement. I'm telling you. So we will take it as a training period in the first 6 months, and immediately we'll take it to the company. Those who are interested, I think I told sir also. Please help us to get a good candidates actually.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your knowledgeful experience sharing with us. And some of the delegates, they have questions like they want to visit your institution and see the work, kind of work, what is being done at your laboratory and your industry. And they also need your email that I think I will forward to them in their in the WhatsApp group. I'd like to request Professor R.V. Kaddi sir to propose a vote of thanks on this.
Hello, thank you, sir. Thank you, Arun, sir,
Thank you.
for a nice presentation.
Thank you.
Hope we met in Belgaum College, the pharmaceutics department. You were there, and I was a member in pharmacognosy.
Okay.
Yes, that is being a M.Pharm in pharmaceutics and entering into the herbal formulation is a big thing what you have achieved, and you are giving the nice direction to the delegates. That's the pharmacognosy people. That's how to select the plants. That is most of the times pharmacognostists we go for the plant selections, which is the rare one and which is not available nearby. Okay, so that is the thing. And here you are suggested to take the plant, the simplest plant itself, and go for the herbal formulations and compare it with the chemical constituents, that the molecule which is there that can be compared, and it can be incorporated, whether it is having other therapeutic activity or the things that is not related what you said, and that is welcome. And therapeutic equivalent that details what you gave, that is also a good thing for a pharmacognosist to act. And from my side, that's in what way you can help the entrepreneurship. That's can you?
Actually, yeah, I will explain you. See, there are two parts. One is entrepreneurship. It is many, even my classmates, friends will come to me. Arun, you tell me how to start an industry, how to, what happens? That is something different. You can say that entrepreneur has to come from here. So there, one is academics, basic good knowledge is absolutely a big requirement. But being an entrepreneur, you should have extra different knowledge, because I cannot really explain, because there are financials, there are a lot of regulations you have to meet, then personal management, there are a lot of multitasking is there. I can say that your confidence, you can say, is the ultimate guidance, because I really am telling you at this stage, I'm telling you, I passed through a very big phase. Actually.
No, especially this PCI syllabus, what it says, that's a pharma, this practice school, and most of the institutions, they are interested in these aspects itself, and that is what we were asking this for the MOU and other things.
I will explain it.
Because here, most of the this institutions, they are going for this incubation center as well. Okay, so if you can, this nearby institutions, if you are helping, so that will be appreciated. And on behalf of KLE College of Pharmacy and on behalf of this entire unit, this Atal FDP program, that's I thank you once again for presenting a nice delivery regarding the herbal formulations and its requirements.
Thank you. Actually,
you.
One thing I will tell you, maybe you are asking about entrepreneurship, no? One simple example I will tell you. If you, a small kid, no, if you show the big screen and if you make a big fire, and if you explain him, this is a big fire, it burns everything, it won't understand anything. But if it touches a small agarbatti, no, then whatever he feels, no, that is a real experience.
Yeah,
so,
that is the thing.
So the experience, no university on earth will teach more than any experience. So experience is the teacher for everyone. Actually, that's what. Anyway, I appreciate that. Anything guidance from my side to start an industry or anything for help to the college interactions, anything, please contact us. And being an alumni of KLE institutions, I am so happy because we have a special respect and special. It's my temple. You can say all our gurukulas actually. I am very happy to interact with you people. Any help, please call me. What is my level, I will definitely support.
Okay, definitely, sir. I thank all the delegates who have participated the entire sessions that's morning till now, and I thank all the unit, that's whoever the members, they have helped in all these aspects, and let us meet at 3 o'clock. For the next session itself. Thank you one and all.
Yeah, we come to this and we come to an end of this morning session. The afternoon session is at 3 p.m. The speaker for the afternoon session is Dr. Munish Gar, Professor and Dean, Faculty of Pharmaceutical Science, Maharishi Dayanand University, Rohtak, Haryana. And the topic of his presentation is translating pharmacognosy knowledge into healthcare system and overview. So that is an overview of the title of the FDP. So the feedback for the morning sessions, the link for the same will be shared to you in the WhatsApp group and also during the session in the afternoon. So thank you once again.
Yes,
thank you, Arun, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.